Okay, so welcome again. What we're going to move on to now is a fairly common type of shooting called barrier shooting. So it doesn't matter if you're police, law enforcement, military, precision fire, or even just a hunter. It's important to know different positions to shoot rather than the prone position. So we're going to incorporate a few different positions here and look at aids to try and improve that position. In my pocket I've got two butt bags. You can get different variations, different sizes. These dramatically improve what you're doing. For some of this, again, the bipod could be removed because I've got a Harris on and I might need to use a prone position, so I'm going to leave the bipod on, but normally I'd remove it. Okay, so we're going to move into different positions and we're going to roll along here. There's 10 targets and take 10 shots and see how we get on. First problem we've got is a piece of a tree, so I'm going to find my natural position and I'm going to shoot nice and simple off the bipod here. Okay, so this is basically my kneeling position. I've adopted the part on the log which actually fits perfectly with my kneeling position. Next I'm going to adopt a sitting position, again using the beanbag. Notice I'm very careful not to put the barrel or influence the barrel in any way, because if you touch the barrel or rest the barrel on something, it interferes with the jump angle and the harmonics of the barrel. Remember, we've got a free floating barrel there, so if you rest it or touch it, it's going to influence that shot. Okay, that was off improvised cover, in this case a tree. The next sort of barrier we've got, nice and simple, again, is like shooting over a post. Okay, notice I put my down on the top there. I'm going to bring the opposite knee up and I'm going to move into a corner. The key of any barrier shooting is to make it as comfortable as you can for yourself. Some other little points note, I'm naturally aiming at the target now. You can all see I'm along the line of a target. I've utilised now, I've got the weapon tucked in against here. It's actually on that. Again, I could have removed the bipod, but the Harris is fairly stable to shoot off. I've got the right knee up instead of the left. Now, of course, we want to make it hard for ourselves a lot of the time. So again, what I'm going to adopt is an old-fashioned technique. I'm going to use my thumb and shoot off. So put my thumb up, hold the weapon there. Ideally a glove would be useful. I'm going to try and rest the weapon best I can in here. So with my knees, I'm going to change the angle of my knees now, so I can rest the right elbow on the knee. Okay, I'm not influencing the rifle in any way. Ready to engage a target. As you can see, it's fiddly, but doable. Okay, that was barrier shooting off a pallet type barrier. Moving over. Now the problem we have with these is they're different steps. Again, you can make it easier or you can make it hard for yourself. We're going to make it easy to start off with. So again, we could go forwards and make this fairly stable, so we're not shooting off the bipod. This time I'm going to bring the weapon back. Again, my hands forwards. Unusual shooting position. Very careful not to touch or influence the barrel. So I'm actually tucking the weapon in. The barrel is slightly wobbly, so I'm having to push into it. Got a reasonable picture here. And target is engaged. Okay, we'll start moving down now. So again, we're going to go for the low one. Again, we could just use bipod, but we're not here to make it easy. We're going to shoot off the bag in a nice prone position. Okay, the weapon is really low to the ground, so I've got to check for muzzle clearance. Okay, in this case I need another bag. Okay, I've got a fairly good stable position now. Acquiring the target, make sure I'm on. Okay, as you can see, the weapon is sitting on its own. This is exactly what I'm trying to achieve here, have a weapon as stable as possible. Okay, moving up now. Okay, awkward one again. So for me, sitting position. I get down and dirty here, but this is what it's all about. Fortunately, being quite small, I get a fairly stable sitting position. Again, I'm naturally lining onto the target. Because I'm hunched over, I've got to be very careful with breathing. So I'm just going to take a few seconds. Okay, so there we are, different types of barrier shooting. What I've tried to do is slow it down a little bit there, just give you an idea. The key is always to have a weapon naturally pointing at the target, and then also, if you can, get that balance correct. Like say you could have removed the bipod, that would have improved things a bit. With the use of a Harris, and again this is a sort of throwback to Afghanistan when it was fitted on the army rifles. Guys were fighting to get onto a prone position. We didn't have time to remove the Harris, so in the military they've become accustomed to leaving the bipod on. For PRLS shooters and stuff, maybe it's a good idea to remove it. The only other thing I did note is I zoomed out. I wasn't on a great magnification, so I could acquire the target, in this case 12, which for me, for the targets I was engaging there, was perfect. So, time for a bit of a wash up now on a brew. This is Frank from Optics Warehouse. Thank you very much.